And good night, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode on the Grade A Flex channel, as Grade A Fantasy likes to give you his top plays at the running back position for Week 6 on the FanDuel main slate. Let's get right into it. Obviously, we'll just go back a little bit, though, before we go into the running backs. Let's go back into the quarterback section. I did do this video. Link will be in the description. So, upcoming, even though he's not ruled out, he should be ruled out. The oblique injury to his hip inside, Derek Carr is probably most likely looking at not being back until most likely November. So this is just an update, continuation of the quarterback video. I really don't expect him to be there. The question is who's probably most likely gonna start in his place. And I don't think it's been confirmed yet, but it's either between Spencer Rattler and Jake Haener. So I guess we'll see what happens through, workouts and practice. So if Derek Carr be out, that will be a substantial hit to Rashid Shaheed, Chris Olave. Anthony Richardson is still dealing with an oblique injury. So I don't think he might not play, but he's actually limited practice. But obviously, fantasy-wise, as I went over into the video, like I said, you're just looking for him to be out at least one more week so we can have some more Joe Flacco magic against Tennessee. And then, like I said, there's not really, once again, just a quick review, there's not really anybody really below 72. Like I said, Richardson or Flacco, they're both 72. They're going to be starting, even though the upside for the wide receivers will be if Flacco starts. But like I said, when it comes to, and Aiden O'Connell, but he's not playing with. I think he played well with Devontae Adams towards the end of last year. If Aiden O'Connell starts with a healthy Devontae Adams, it's something to look at, but I'll still stay away. One is the Pittsburgh defense. Two, you already know my philosophy on shutdown corners, and he'll have Devontae Adams against Joey Porter. So no, that's to stay away. Jacoby Brissett is benched, so now they're going all the way to the rookie. So basically, whoever might start, there goes Wilson. He's trying to get back, but I think Justin Fields will still get this week's start. But when it comes to some of these other quarterbacks that might come in, there's Drake May. They're 6,000 minimum, and then who's most likely ever starting for whoever starting like Spencer Rattler, they're 6,000. So if you're interested in some very low stacks, then yeah, you're looking all the way at the bottom there. But realistically, the good plays are all at 72 and above. Let's get into the running backs now. Running backs, and the one thing about this slate, there's not a lot of value. I think this is one of those that you have to create your own value. When I say create your own value, if you're looking to fit in some expensive pieces, you might have to either do two things. I think the main two things, the strategy would be you're either building balanced lineups or you're paying down for tight end and defense in the same lineup, and then you build from there. But let's get to the running backs anyway. I think, once again, also with running back, there's a cap. There might be some value, some kind of value, but it's not like amazing value. But let's start off. Saquon Barkley against Cleveland. He's a start no matter what. He's matchup proof. 92,000. Saquon's playing like he should be 95, 97. That's just me. Some people say Derrick Henry should be the top spot. He has a good matchup against Washington Commanders. Right, he's just 100 apiece. When it comes to that situation, I really think Saquon's going to be the lower owned. Derrick Henry against Washington is still a good matchup. $100 cheaper. Definitely got to try to fit him in. But I think the main chalk is going to be right here with these two guys, Alvin Kamara and Bijan Robinson. Alvin Kamara dealing with a hip, but like I said, in most cases, his hip is due to a lot of use. They limit him a lot during the week, so they can have him ready. And with Derek Carr being out, expect him. And also, you know what? I'm not going to lie about it. It did happen in the past before, but if they give him a lot of touches, nobody's really talking about it like that. But it has happened in the past. Jamal Williams will be a significant vulture for Alvin Kamara. Look for that. That's definitely a GPP play. If If his touches increase even more for what they are, let's take a look at his game log. 11 rushes, 8 targets, 19 rushes, 9 targets, 26 3, 23, 15 5. It's supposed to increase. Don't be surprised. Just give you guys an idea. A leverage play. Let's say you don't go Kamara, right? He gets everything between the 20s, the 25s, or whatever the case may be. And let's say he's tired, it's been a long drive. Guess what? They're giving him the ball more because of the backup quarterbacks. Guess what? He's going to get subbed out at the end. And Jamal Williams has had a history of vulturing his touchdowns. So he hasn't done much. He's definitely coming in fresh. I think you're going to start seeing him in the sense of, you see how he got those carries when it was a blowout, when the Saints came out with 90-something points in 2 weeks. Expect this to be the norm for the next month and for him to vulture some touchdowns. I think he could be, that's kind of like a mini play, but for what I just said to make sense, Jamal Williams is going to have some type of significant bench role. When I say significant, he doesn't get the ball thrown too much, but he has to be the touchdown vulture. The Saints will have to obviously move the ball, and he'll have to at least vulture a touchdown or two to make that viable for his $5,300 price. Like I said, the touchdown alone puts him 6, and then everything is gravy from there. But like I said, that's like lottery value. That's value that has to work in the right situation. So the backup quarterbacks and the offense that's drawing up the next couple of weeks has to be able to move the Saints down the field. Now with the rest of the slate, Bijan Robinson, this seems to be more of an exciting matchup. Everybody seems to be excited to play for Bijan. If you're a football fan, if you're a fantasy fan, you want Bijan to be able to do what he can against the worst defense in the league. Now, here's another thing. If this doesn't happen with Bijan this week, guess what? DFS wise, we all know who the counter is. I don't have to scroll much. I mean, I probably do have to scroll down, but we all know who the main counter is, and the main counterpart is that man right there, Tyler Algier at 5,400. He gets a workload that he can validate his pricing. As you can see, at 5,400, he's basically in weeks 2 and 4. He basically 1.7 and 2x, almost 2x his value right there at 5,400. Against a bad defense like this, I can see Bijan getting subbed and then Tyler Algier getting 2 consecutive carries from outside like the 5, from like the 7 or the 8, get those few yards, plus subs out Bijan Robinson during the drive and get, like, this could be one of those where, yeah, Bijan plays well, but guess what? Tyler Algier gets enough opportunities where at 5,400, if he continues to get looks like this, 3, 9, 7, 8, 6, and he's still getting dump offs, guess what? Add some touchdowns to it against this bad offense, against this bad defense, especially that suspect front 7 of the Carolina Panthers. There's a leverage play right there. You literally this week have to do like strategic value plays. There's not just obvious value because of like cost. There's not a lot of that. These two studs right here, both are in solid matchups, but I don't think they might be able to play. Jonathan Taylor looking better, most likely, than Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon still hasn't really practiced. With Jonathan Taylor, I've heard reports of he hasn't practiced either, but they're not considering him as a week to week. I think they want to try to see if they could get Jonathan Taylor enough rest and then see if he's good to go on a Friday practice and then see what he could do limitedly on a Saturday. That's the last update. But with Joe Mixon, it looks like we're definitely going to be another week without Joe Mixon. But most likely, if you ask me, most likely, I think both sit. Joe Mixon's already looking doubtful enough as it is. It's been a while and he's still not practicing. Jonathan Taylor is on the wait and see, and then we'll roll him out. But if you ask me, yes, both don't play, but I'm pretty 100% sure that Joe Mixon is not going to make it next week. James Conner, always a solid option at Green Bay at 8,000. His price has gone up. I think he started the season at 67, and he's had solid games. So on the way up, he's looking like a solid play. game of the week. A lot of people gonna love this. You can either pick who you want, David Montgomery, Jameer Gibbs against a soft beat up Dallas defense. I like either or. Now, back to these two with Joe Mixon. The thing with Mixon is now with the backup situation there. As we go back a little bit, is this another week? Is this another week for Cam Akers? I mean, he still hasn't really done amazingly with the role. He did get into the end zone. He's 5,800. Like I said, this is that's about the limit you're getting. You're not getting the 53, 55, 57, and an explosive opportunity like Mason. Like you have you're getting this right under 6,000 kind of value where there's like a couple of running backs that you could pick around this range. Also, you might want to see if Dameon Pierce might be healthy. If Dameon Pierce is healthy and it's said that he's going to get some of the role, it might be interesting to finally let him loose, because then it won't be the best chalk. I don't think it's going to be chalk, but it's an opportunity for you to open your lineup. Like I said, but he has to be healthy first. It's been a while. So he's pretty much been out the whole season, so hopefully he's good to go. That's a bit of salary cap relief because everybody's priced up now. He's 4,900 though. So we'll go back here, get back up, and then of course with Jonathan Taylor, Tennessee. I mean, it is Trey Sermon, but he didn't really do much last week. If you see here, it'll be a combination of either these two guys, Trey Sermon, Tyler Goodson. Maybe because of the way Trey Sermon played, and then he did also get dinged up too. So maybe Kyler Goodson might be an interesting play. And then of course, if he's ruled out along with Jonathan Taylor, then you're gonna go right down here to Tyler Goodson and Evan Hall, and that's where some possible. Like I said, it's one of those things where opportunity will bring itself. You already know how people get ruled out later in the week. I'm just letting you guys know all the possible options because right now there's absolutely no value. This is the first slate. I think we're not looking at any kind of value. Like I said, we started the year with McCaffrey being ruled out, the Jordan Mason fiasco for the first 2 weeks. Then Cam Akers with the Joe Mixon injury. Like, there's been a whole lot of stuff going on. And now this is the first week where, like I said, if you're going to build a balanced lineup, I think without these guys here, you're going to have to pay down at tight end and defense. I'll be going to more of that strategy as I get to those videos later. So let's continue with the rest of the slate now. Those are the main situations of injuries y'all will need to pay attention to as we keep going down. Bijan Robinson against Baltimore, but I wouldn't recommend that. I definitely like Josh Jacobs. I still like Chuba Hubbard. Atlanta's front four, very good against the run, but the volume and what he does in the backfield, Chuba Hubbard's still a solid play. Like I said, I love Josh Jacobs against the front center of Arizona. That is a bottom 5 rush defense as well. So Josh Jacobs, somebody that did well last week, I will have no issue going to him again. Najee is Najee. You just need him to hopefully, his numbers are never impressive. So fantasy-wise, you hope that he can get some passes out the backfield and get a touchdown maybe at the goal line. Like I said, Las Vegas is a solid matchup. We have Tony Pollard. I love Tony Pollard. When it comes to solid upside and not too expensive, he's definitely looked at one of the best values this week. When it comes to opportunity and price cost, pretty much a nice point per dollar play. As we keep moving around, there's also some interesting stuff here. We got Zach Moss, Rashad White. Like I said, pay attention to injury news. If no Zach Moss, then you'll be looking at the young rookie. Where is he? He should be popping up. There you go. You'll be looking at Chase Brown with a nice matchup and opportunity against the Giants. And then, of course, with no Rashad White, you'll be looking at Bucky Irving. As we keep going down here, when it comes to top plays, yes, if Devin Singletary is not in, once again, he's dealing with a groin injury. You're going to have to wait it out. You're going to have to see if Tyrone Tracy, that's a good, because Cincinnati's run defense is poor. So Tyrone Tracy will definitely look like a great value. If, to me, despite all those other plays that, that were potential 4,900, 5,300, If Singletary's out again, Tyrell Trace is definitely the best because of the opportunity he got. If the backfield is his, he's getting 21 carries. He got 21 carries last week. And expect the same kind of workload if, once again, Malik Nabers is out, still dealing with the concussion protocol. If Malik Nabers is back, 21 carries probably turns into 14, 15, 16, maybe 17 max carries. But you're not going to sneeze at that at 5,800. Once again, Cam Akers has an opportunity against New England. We already spoke about Bucky Irving. And to be honest, that's really it. Like I said, you have to wait to see the injury news. Like I said, there are dart tournament throws of value because of the opportunity to vulture, because of the situations that I explained. But like I said, a lot more is going to come clear by Friday. We're still midweek. Some people are getting maintenance days and stuff like that. So not everything is concrete solid. But like I said, even though he doesn't have the red O, I think Mixon and Jonathan Taylor says, but if you ask me one person that I know that's out that's not marked out, it's definitely Mixon. Like I said, he could shock me and change things and have a practice, but Mixon hasn't practiced. He literally hasn't done anything with the team in about 2.5 weeks now. High ankle sprains and the way he got tackled on that, what they should have called an illegal tackle, I think Mixon will be ready for the following week. So, and of course, with Houston still winning, I don't think there'll be a rush to get him back. But that is the end of the running back video. My top plays and how you should, and what the possible outlook of the slate could be for week 6 in the running back positions. Wide receiver video coming soon, along with tight ends and defense. Good luck with your research. Once again, like and subscribe. Forward the video. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you all in the next video. Good night.